The electric went off and there was like a roar and then there was this big boom.
Preble, Greene, and Montgomery County slammed with rain, hail, and strong winds.
And we're not done just yet. More showers and storms moving across the Miami Valley. The latest just ahead.
Downed power lines leaving people in the dark and trapped in their cars.
Rivers and creeks overflowing their banks. Chickens tossed like rag dolls, cows sent running, horses needing rescue.
April starting with a bang. Fox 45 empowering you to keep your family safe when severe weather strikes. But first, a weather alert for the entire Miami Valley. One tornado already confirmed in Clark County, and the National Weather Service is now working to figure out if there were more. Good evening. I'm Megan O'Rourke.
And I'm Adam Merrill. Round 2 hitting right now. That video from outside our studio is just a sample of Mother Nature's worst today.
Now, we do have team coverage tonight as the Miami Valley begins the cleanup. As we said, though, the threat is still not over. So we want to begin with meteorologist Steve Norris.
Yeah, you know, we have round 2 coming through right now, but the good news is this particular second round has weakened considerably as it has moved into the Miami Valley. So I don't anticipate any warnings, at least severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings. What we could still possibly see would be an additional flash flood warning, because we are still getting some fairly heavy rainfall there over northern Wayne County on up into Darke County. Ansonia seeing some moderate to even heavy rainfall, as you can see, and then moving a little bit farther off to the north. Areas of Auglaize County, Logan, Shelby on down into Miami County, some moderate rain, and then even some heavy pockets of rain there right around the Troy area just to the east, and then around the Dayton area as well. Now, that tornado that is confirmed, that is actually right here in extreme southeast Clark County, just south of South Charleston. We had a report of a touchdown by law enforcement at Sprague Road and Highway 42, so just south and southwest of the South Charleston area. So just wanted to point that out, and the National Weather Service will go out there tomorrow morning to confirm a touchdown, and they're also going to investigate other areas of Greene County as well. So here comes the second round. It was very impressive as it moved into Indiana, but it has been weakening over the past couple of hours, and so I think just some moderate to heavy rainfall associated with this particular line. Notice the tornado watch. The National Weather Service has just dropped the watch. However, a flash flood watch remains in effect for the entire Miami Valley through the morning hours. I'll have more coming up in just a couple minutes, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Steve. The National Weather Service now says that they do believe a tornado did touch down in northern Greene County earlier today. Homes and farms in that area you can see seeing widespread damage. Fox 45's Kelly May is live to show us the aftermath and start our team coverage. Kelly.
Yeah, Megan, I want to show you this property. This is actually a piece of roof that flew a couple of football fields from a neighbor's house here on Ludlow Road. And then I also want to show you just the damage that here today. Massive tree uproot. It's dark here, but this whole neighborhood was touched by strong winds today. And for some lifelong Xenia residents, this was a hard storm.
High water and heavy rain, tornado warnings for Greene County. On Ludlow Road, downed power lines, and Steve Varner rushing his family to safety.
My wife told us, hey, get in the basement. She looked out the window here and saw wind swirling in that field, and I have 5 kids in there.
Steve saw his neighbor's damage and ran to help, stretching for miles down to State Route 235.
All down the street, there's houses with damage. There's trees down, big trees uprooted.
At the neighbor's house, the roof of the home and barn ripped off. Pieces of it lodged into trees and strewn across the field. Residents taking pictures of the damage as emergency crews go house to house.
It came out of nowhere, and I know they had warnings out for Montgomery County, so we kind of kept an eye on it, but I think it hit before we even noticed anything that happened.
Did you hear sirens?
Down the street, pieces of the neighbor's roof in Kim Nichols' yard. Her 50-year-old family farm ravaged.
The electric went off and there was like a roar, and then we went to the bathroom and we heard this big boom and sound, you know, glass shattered and trees. The side of the house has old trees down, so all these are really old trees.
Nichols said today, the anniversary of the 74 Xenia tornado, this was a hard storm to weather.
You're a little bit emotional right now.
Yes.
Shaken up still?
It comes and goes. It will get better. We're fine. Things can be replaced.
Yeah, power's still out in this area of Greene County, and the rain just started back up again We'll be talking with the National Weather Service tomorrow as they start to survey if this was in fact a tornado touchdown here in northern Greene County as well. Live in Xenia Township, Kelly May, Fox 45 News.
Kelly, thank you. And speaking of the National Weather Service, they are now also trying to figure out if that damage was caused by a possible tornado spotted by police in South Charleston. Fox 45's Nathan Edwards is live at nearby Clifton with more damage and what people saw coming from the sky. Nathan.
Adam, the damage is extensive. Multiple properties were hit, and as I spoke with homeowners, they all said the same thing. They saw rotation off in the distance and believe this is the work of a tornado.
It's devastating. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it.
2 barns erected in 1861 reduced to rubble. John Richardson's horses were trapped inside.
We had one horse that was pinned in some of the debris here that you see on this side, and it's just a miracle that he made it.
Escaping with a few bumps and bruises, John was inside his Clifton home when the storm rumbled through.
It came across this field over here, and it was just like a sheet of white.
He saw rotation and says the storm came from the direction of South Charleston. Police there reported a tornado touching down near US 42 and Sprague Road. Scotty Johnson watched it from his basement windows.
It went from just sheets blown across the yard to kind of this circular motion, blown across the yard.
Outside, his father-in-law's farm animals were in danger.
My wife said, she says the chickens are blowing over the fence and the cows were moving.
Fortunately, they all survived.
Yeah, they was all running loose and blowing all over.
The storm left trees toppled in their yard, a common sight throughout the region, as people work to clean up.
We've got a chainsaw, we've got the tractor, and it'll just take some effort and some sunny days, but hopefully those are in our future.
A few miles away in Clifton, John faces a more extensive fix, losing historic barns, but fortunately not his horses.
You just have to pick up the pieces and see how that all fits together and just rebuild, I guess.
Well, you can see there's still a lot more cleaning up to do. I'm told that the owners here of this barn will be up bright and early tomorrow morning. Obviously, some people in this neighborhood have more work to do than others. Live in Clifton, Nathan Edwards, Fox 45 News.
All right, thanks so much, Nathan. Some incredible images there. And take a look at how quickly this storm rolled in. Our Skycam showing a time lapse over Dayton from sunshine to rain and hail. The system delivered 2 punches. Our Fox 45 viewers were also recording. And meteorologist Mike Joyce is here now to break down some of the images that you sent in, Mike.
That's right, Megan. We had some incredible images and videos sent in to us. This one coming to us from Jamie in Farmersville of the wall cloud and a funnel cloud starting to stretch down from that parent wall cloud. So let's point out what we're seeing here. I'm going to draw on our touchscreen. The wall cloud is this part of cloud, the wider but still lower part from the rest of the cloud. But what we're seeing here is the funnel cloud that extends a little bit further down from the entire wall cloud. So what would be a tornado would be forming in this small section from this incredible video right here. So thank you very much, Jamie, for sending that in, and I'm going to put it back in motion again just to show how powerful these storms were across the Miami Valley today and how visible they were in several communities. And speaking of, we're going to take a look at social media. This is coming to us from Kettering. A very large tree branch stuck right between the hood of a car and the windshield. So this is the Panera Bread out in Kettering. Very, very powerful storm and very high wind it takes to knock that down. A couple more photos. This one coming to us from Bellbrook, and they're joking about how they finally got a pool in their backyard because of all the flooding. And this one coming to us from New Lebanon, where it seems like the entire street is covered in water. And we also have another video of hail out in Camden. That's in Preble County. Absolutely incredible. And you can hear the hail falling as we play the video. A massive amount of hailstones covering the deck, the lawn, all over the yard of this house, making it look almost like snow. Some of the pieces were as big as golf balls. And in Trotwood today, flooding the major issue, which continues to be the issue tonight. But look at this, the Wolf Creek raging this afternoon. Damon Thomas shared this video, and he did so through the Fox 45 app, which is the easiest way to share pictures and video with some people who had to see the water for themselves. Siobhan, what are their reactions?
Well, a lot of them were shocked, as you mentioned. It's still raging Wolf Creek. You can probably hear these waves. Look at how high they are. And this has been happening all afternoon since we've been out here. I'm going to have my photographer swing around here. This line of debris that you see right here, this is where the water was this morning. And though it's receded a little bit, it's expected to pick back up. I want to show you some video of what it looked like this afternoon earlier today. About a dozen people came out to take pictures and see the water. This just one of many flooded areas around Trotwood. Near Snyder Road, houses underwater earlier today. Moss Creek also overflowing and spilling across the road into nearby yards. Everyone I talked to, though, says the damage in their homes and basements isn't too bad. The water, especially near Wolf Creek, looks worse than it is.
It's awesome.
Is it awesome?
This is awesome.
Have you seen it this high before?
It's been this high before. The last time we had that major rain event, but it wasn't this fast moving.
Again, the water has receded over the last few hours, but is expected to pick back up with that rain again in some areas. People say the cleanup is what's going to be the next step. A lot of this debris, people trying to get it out of Madison Park. Reporting live in Trotwood tonight, Siobhan Anderson, Fox 45 News.
All right, thanks, Siobhan. Again, that's not the only area dealing with flooding tonight. The road closed signs have been up now for several hours just east of Bellbrook on State Route 725. But as we found out, just because that road is closed does not mean that drivers will listen. We watched as cars ignored the sign and just kept on going. Don't do that. Not only could you get stuck, but if you get caught driving through high water when the road is closed, we're told it could cost you up to $2,000 in fines.
Incredible video just into our newsroom. Down power lines trapping this person inside of their car in Grove City. That's right near Columbus. This storm moved northeast after hitting the Miami Valley, and now Columbus also gearing up for round 2. Down power lines also leaving many folks in the Miami Valley without power. This is a live look at the Dayton Power and Light outage map. Just a few hundred without power right now. Crews working to get everyone back online now.
And right now, Miami County's 911 system is still down. We're told AT&T crews are working overtime to try and get things back up and running. But until they do, if you have an emergency, you should call this number, 937-440-9911. It's there on your screen right now. Fox 45 will let you know as soon as the 911 system is back up and working on air and online at fox45now.com.
We've also created a photo gallery online with all of your storm pictures and videos. To click through, it's real easy. Just look for it under top stories at fox45now.com. Your weather photos and videos really help us tell this story whenever it's safe to do so. You can upload them through the Fox 45 app. Just click on Explore right there on the bottom, then hit See It, Send It. You just might see your stuff right here on the air. Also, to stay up to date on the weather in the Miami Valley in general, you can also use that Fox 45 News app. We'll send you push alerts if you'd like every morning with what to expect for the day ahead. The app is available in the App Store as well as Google Play. And for your weather and traffic every 10 minutes, be sure to turn into our morning show. Coverage starts at 4:27 on ABC 22 and continues from 7 to 9 right here on Fox 45. Fox 45 empowering families and kids to protect themselves when severe weather strikes. Our Team Tornado program kicking off and coming up at 10:30, where you need to tell your kids to go in case of an emergency. And still ahead.
I was hit so hard that my boots flew off my feet as I was screaming for help.
Victims of violent robbery sharing their stories. The man who murdered an OSU student now facing even more time behind bars.
A baby killed in a car crash. Neighbors fighting back. The changes they're demanding to make sure this does not happen again. You're watching your 10 o'clock guarantee that it's 10 straight minutes of news and weather only on Fox 45. We're back in 60 seconds.
A police-involved shooting in Miamisburg. An officer dropped a 99 or an officer needs assistance call at the Red Roof Inn on Byers Road around 6 tonight. Now, not many details are being released just yet, but we do know that one man was taken to the hospital after an officer fired his weapon, although we don't know why that officer started shooting. Now, the Miamisburg police chief tells us the man is expected to be okay. As soon as more information is released, we'll be sure to let you know. It's the first sentencing in Robert Mueller's Russian probe.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
Alex van der Zwaan, a Dutch attorney, will spend 30 days in jail and will pay $20,000 in fines. Van der Zwaan is tied to former Trump deputy campaign chairman Rick Gates, who pleaded guilty to making false statements. Van der Zwaan also pleaded guilty to lying to Mueller's team in February.
A baby killed at a Springfield intersection.
And I heard children crying and screaming, and I ran outside and called 911 at the same time.
Neighbors now working to make sure this never happens again. We'll show you their efforts then.
44 years later, I still have tornado dreams. Yep.
Terrifying memories of a devastating day. People share their stories of surviving the deadly Xenia tornado.
Rain, hail, strong winds, and a possible tornado. Viewers sharing incredible pictures and video of what they saw today.
More showers and storms moving across the Miami Valley. We are going to go from rain to snow. And you know what will be a problem the next several days? Flooding. A live look at the Kettering Health Network Skycam in the Beaver Creek area. We'll be back.
Neighborhood wants to see changes made to a nearby intersection after an infant was killed in a car crash there on Easter Sunday. Fox 45's Rhonda Moore tells us what it could take for some of those improvements to happen.
A small memorial for 3-month-old Jamison Krim.
Rest in peace, Jamison.
He died Easter at South Schaefer and West Jefferson in Springfield. Police say a car he was in was hit by a speeding car. April Orr heard the crash.
And I heard children crying and screaming, and I ran outside and called 911 at the same time.
Neighbors say drivers on Schaefer have a hard time seeing cars on Jefferson.
If any cars are coming from this way, you know, we have to kind of pull out a little just to make sure.
Now Orr wants some changes.
I think that there should be a couple of speed bumps and definitely another stop sign on the opposite corner.
She thinks it can happen.
A petition, start a petition around the neighborhood.
Another neighbor who lives here on Jefferson isn't so sure that adding another one of these will make a difference.
I really don't think more stop signs is going to be the answer. That's just going to be wasting more money that we need because people run the stop signs anyway.
Springfield's engineer says to make the intersection a 4-way stop, the number of accidents and volume of traffic have to be considered. In 10 minutes this afternoon, I counted 11 cars going through the intersection.
A lot of people don't really realize what the speed limits are on streets like this because they don't post them. But maybe if they start posting some signs on these smaller side streets and then throw in a few extra cops, then maybe we might be able to get it under control.
Rhonda Moore, Fox 45 News.
And police tell us between 2015 and Sunday, only 2 crashes had been reported at that intersection.
Today's severe storms come 44 years to the day after a dangerous F5 tornado swept through Xenia. It leveled much of the city and killed dozens of people.
44 years later, I still have tornado dreams.
Catherine Wilson was only 9 when the tornado swept through her home. She says her mother covered her in a bathtub as the strong winds threw shards of glass into the walls. The power of the storm, unbelievable.
This quarter was embedded in the piece of wood and split it. The house next door to mine had a playing card embedded in a 2x4.
The storm killed 33 people. 2 members of the National Guard died in the aftermath.
And the rain continues to fall in some areas of the Miami Valley. This is round number 2, but we thought that it could very well weaken and not be anywhere near the strength of that first round that we got early in the afternoon and even into the early evening hours. And indeed, it has weakened considerably. A, we're after sunset. We've lost some of the heating of the day. And B, this atmosphere over the Miami Valley has been worked over so much from the early rounds of showers and storms. So the heaviest of the rain right now falling over our northernmost counties, Shelby County on up into Auglaize County. We're seeing some showers, even a couple of embedded thunderstorms there over Logan County as well. And then a little farther off to the south, we're seeing some showers and storms over Champaign County, even Clark County, where we've had at least 1 confirmed tornado. And then the rain beginning to move out of the eastern sections there of Greene County, out of the eastern sections of Clinton County. Here's a wider look of that line of storms. This is a cold front that's coming through right now. It was very impressive over our western sections of Indiana. There were numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, but as I mentioned, it weakened as it continued to push off to the east. So good news for us because we don't need any more rough weather. What we still have a threat of is flash flooding. The entire Miami Valley under a flash flood watch as we head through the late night hours. And best news, that tornado watch that was to be into effect until 1 o'clock in the morning, it has been dropped for all of the Miami Valley. It is extended just to our south and east. Well, it was a record-setting day at Dayton International Airport. We picked up 2 3/4 inches of rain, and that smashes the old record of 1.75 by exactly an inch. That was set back in 1957. And if you think 2 3/4 inches is impressive, how about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base? 3 3/4 inches of rain. And guess what? It's still raining. We're going to add on to that. You can see where that cold front is coming through right now. Look at Salina. Temperature down to 52 degrees, 51 Sydney. So that cold front about right in through here, and temperatures out ahead of it still in the low 60s, unseasonably mild for this time of the year. So here is the next weather maker, or the weather maker that's moving through right now. 11 o'clock continuing to push off to the east of the area, and by 12 o'clock midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it should be off to our east. And guess what? In the morning, it is going to get cold enough that we'll likely see maybe a couple of snow showers or flurries around the Miami Valley. And tomorrow's high, not 60 or 70, how about 40 with that chance for a few flakes of snow in the morning. Otherwise, very cool as we head through the next several days. We're going to have to watch Friday night and early Saturday. Could see rain, snow, maybe some accumulating snow. We'll watch that closely, but unseasonably cool over the next 7 days. Guys?
All right, Steve, thank you. More time behind bars for the man who raped and killed an OSU student.
If I would have fought back or done something differently, I may have changed the outcome of your next assault and robbery or the rape and murder of Regan Tokes.
Coming up, the sentence handed down today that will keep Regan Tokes' killer locked up for life.
And an arrest in the deadly 2016 waterslide accident in Kansas City. Who's in custody and facing charges tonight?
Plus, an update on the West Liberty school shooting, why the accused teen gunman won't face a jury when his trial gets underway next week.
And severe weather pummeling the Miami Valley tonight, not once but twice. A look at the damage in our hardest hit communities.
Out of prison as is, but tonight even more years have been added on to Brian Goldsby's sentence.
It's really symbolic, and I'm only doing it to give some measure of satisfaction to the victims.
Last month, Goldsby received 3 consecutive life sentences for the rape and murder of OSU student Regan Tokes. Today, a judge tacked on 66 years to Goldsby's sentence for several armed robberies he committed before Tokes' death in German Village. One of those victims, Julianne Beatty, says that she had just come home from vacation when she was targeted by Goldsby.
I know this is irrational thinking. If I would have fought back or done something differently, I may have changed the outcome of your next assault and robbery or the rape and murder of Regan Tokes. This still haunts me.
The judge told Beatty she wasn't to blame for anything Goldsby did after the attack. This is likely Goldsby's final court appearance. The maximum sentence for the robberies triggers an automatic appeal, but Goldsby is not expected to follow through with that motion.
New information tonight, 18-year-old Eli Cerna will face a judge, not a jury, for his trial next week. Cerna is accused of shooting Logan Cole at West Liberty Salem High School last year. Cole made a full recovery, but still has hundreds of pellets inside his body. Cerna is pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. His trial is set for April 10th.
2 rounds of severe weather battering the Miami Valley. We go back out live to Greene County as the National Weather Service works to figure out if a tornado touched down.
And Fox 45's Team Tornado empowering kids in the Miami Valley, how it's helping them stay safe during this severe weather.
Plus, getting your kids away from the screens and into nature, how it can benefit more than just them.
Well, the worst is moving out of the Miami Valley right now, but flooding will be an ongoing issue the next several days. The Great Miami River out of its banks, the Little Miami River out of its banks, and also the Mad River. I'll have the very latest and talk about a huge temperature plunge as we look live at the Kettering Health Network Skycam in Beaver Creek, a wet I-675.
At least one tornado confirmed already in Clark County.
In Greene County, the National Weather Service now surveying the damage to determine if that same cell produced a tornado there as well. Fox 45's Kelly May continuing our team coverage tonight. Kelly.
Well, Megan, I'll tell you from what we saw out here earlier today, the path of this storm, it certainly looks to be that way. Here's the damage still here at this 50-year-old farmhouse on Ludlow Road. Now, residents told us the storm left as quickly as it came. We're told the sirens did go off in Greene County, but not everybody heard them.
It came out of nowhere, and I know they had warnings out for Montgomery County, so we kind of kept an eye on it, but I think it hit before we even noticed anything that happened.
To me, after my VO. Now, different counties have different criteria for setting tornado sirens off. Here in Greene County, sirens are activated for both the city and Xenia Township, where we are, by Central Communications Center when public officials see a tornado. Greene County also has a hyper-reach emergency notification system, which is a high-speed notification system, but residents have to sign up for that system. It sends notifications about severe weather, terrorism, and more through email, cell phone, and landline. Back out here live on Ludlow Road, residents are going to be cleaning up for some time. And as you mentioned, the National Weather Service now looking to come out here tomorrow and see if this is in fact the same storm path as where they've confirmed that tornado did touch down in South Charleston. Live in Xenia Township tonight, Kelly May, Fox 45 News.
A busy day for the National Weather Service. Kelly, thank you. To stay up to date on the weather in the Miami Valley, you can always use the Fox 45 News app. If you haven't already downloaded it, we'll send you push alerts every morning with what to expect for the day ahead. The app is available in the App Store as well as Google Play.
Well, today's severe weather outbreak, a reminder of just how quickly the weather can change and how dangerous it can be. Fox 45's Team Tornado is back and bigger than ever. We're empowering thousands of kids to stay safe, and meteorologist Mike Joyce is here now with how that program works. Mike.
That's right, Megan. Fox 45 is gearing up for another year of our Team Tornado program, helping kids find their safe spots. The goal of Team Tornado is, of course, to educate and empower the Miami Valley children about where to go during severe weather. Meteorologist Greg Bobus and I went to Salina Primary School this afternoon to kick off the 2018 program. Just 5 months ago, these students and their community were affected by an EF2 tornado with 120-mile-per-hour maximum wind. And students in Huber Heights were taking cover during this afternoon's tornado warning. Rushmore Elementary found their safe spot in the hallway. Second grade teacher Alma Veldman sent this photo to us. Very good job, kids. And we want to see more of these photos of your kids' safe spots. You can share those with us through the Fox 45 app. Just click Explore at the bottom and then hit Seed and Send It, and you might see those pictures right here on air. And anytime there is severe weather, we will put the best photos and videos on our website. To click through today's images, just look under top stories at fox45now.com and click on the photo gallery. So very, very interesting situation going across the Miami Valley today, but it looks like now, Steve, things are improving quite a bit.
Yes, they are. In fact, the watches and the warnings and all of that now being dropped, except for that flash flood watch that is still in effect for the next several hours, and it does include the entire Miami Valley. But the worst clearly behind us. The heavy rain now over our northernmost counties. We're talking about the Shelby, Auglaize on over into sections of Logan County as well. Light to moderate rain. In fact, not even any lightning in this. So weakening rapidly. That's certainly a bit of good news. Still a couple of showers there over the eastern sections of Champaign County, and then Clark County, very busy earlier this evening. In fact, it was this area, the extreme southeastern sections of Clark County, just south of South Charleston, Sprague Road, Highway 42. That is where we have that likely, if not confirmed, tornado, at least by eyewitnesses in that area. And the National Weather Service will be checking that area all the way into Greene County, north of Xenia, south of Yellow Springs, Clifton, that area they'll be checking very closely tomorrow when they survey the damage to confirm if it was indeed a tornado. But it certainly looks like it to me, and it certainly looked like it on the radar as well. Speaking of the wide view of the radar, again, we have that line. This is the cold front coming through right now. It's 63 right now, Dayton, but look at Chicago. It's 36 degrees and they're getting some snow. So very cold air is going to be rushing in on the backside of this cold front, and that will bring an end to the rain. But, well, we have seen an end to that tornado watch that was in effect for the area up until 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's been dropped early. Again, as I mentioned, a flash flood watch that is still in effect for the entire Miami Valley for the overnight hours, and we're going to see flooding as we head through the next few days. But a record setter, 2.75 inches, just under 3 inches at Dayton International, beating the old record by exactly an inch, and 3 3/4 inches at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So very, very impressive rainfall total. So you can see those temperatures beginning to drop off behind the cold front, upper 50s, but out ahead of it, we still have temperatures there in the low 60s. So here's a look at the rain as it continues to push off to the east. 11 o'clock tonight as we head into the midnight hour. You can see it begins conditions to push completely east of the Miami Valley, and then tomorrow morning with temperatures dropping through the 40s into the upper 30s. We could very well start the day on Wednesday with some snow showers or even a few flurries around the Miami Valley. Tomorrow's high just 40 degrees after that 36-degree morning low. 47 on Thursday. Friday late into Saturday, we're going to have to watch the possibility for another winter, maybe snow maker in this time frame. Otherwise, not warming up at all as we head through the next several days. Should be right around 57. Guys?
All right, thanks so much, Steve. New video into our newsroom from Butler County tonight where flooding is threatening homes in Millville. Kathy Crawley was stuck on her front porch after Indian Creek overflowed its banks. She says in her 29 years, flooding has never been this bad. Crews had to use snow plows to clear away the mud that was left behind. That cleanup operation is expected to last days. And to stay up to date on weather here in the Miami Valley, remember to download the Fox 45 News app. We'll send you push alerts every morning with what you can expect for the day ahead. That app available in the App Store and also on Google Play. And for all the weather and traffic impacting your morning commute, be sure to tune in to Fox 45 News in the Morning. Coverage begins at 4:27 on ABC 22 and from 7 to 9 right here on Fox 45.
A consumer alert now. Stella Artois is recalling certain bottles of its beer over worries some might contain glass particles. The recall applies to select 11.2-ounce bottles in 6-packs, 12-packs, 18 and 24-packs, and Best of Belgium, multi-packs in Canada and the U.S. A third-party bottler was using equipment that could cause glass to break off and fall into the bottle, possibly endangering drinkers.
It's been nearly 2 years since a 10-year-old boy was killed on a water slide where the ride's designer was arrested and the host of charges he's now facing.
And in tonight's Family 411, how helping kids connect with nature and animals and how it could be great for their development.
Planning your dream getaway for the summer before you book that flight. Which airlines passed the muster and which fell short?
And we're in the kitchen with Chef Maria from Miamisburg Watermark Restaurant.
That's Wednesday morning starting at 7 on Fox 45 in the morning.
On the move. In case you missed Fox 45 this morning.
And we are tracking severe flooding.
Here right now, some big time rumbles.
We've been dealing with an accident. It's slowing traffic way down.
We're going to guess that throughout the morning it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, I think the summit is likely to include more players than we know right now.
And it teaches real people like engineers what it's like to work in the arts.
Yeah. We're sizzling up here, making some burgers this morning.
This gives us an opportunity to invest, to grow at Wright Pat.
Can I see him on the radio? That's the total package that we're going to be looking for.
Watch Fox 45 in the morning, weekdays starting at 7 a.m.
The designer of a Kansas City water slide that killed a 10-year-old boy is arrested at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. 72-year-old John Schooley, who you see here, was met by federal agents after returning from China late last night. He's now charged with second-degree murder, aggravated battery, and aggravated endangerment in the 2016 death of Caleb Schwab. The Schlitterbahn Water Park, a construction company, and 2 other individuals are also facing charges in connection to Schwab's death. Officials say the ride's design violated numerous safety standards. Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley hosting the mayor of New Orleans, local mayors, and health advocates from around the Miami Valley. Today, they all met to talk about the opioid epidemic. The community leaders are sharing their experiences in hopes of reducing the number of people to die from an overdose. Mayor Whaley talking about the latest drug making a comeback here in the Miami Valley.
And about a year ago, they started seeing the meth move back in. And so what do we see this year? We see more meth. So you can kind of see it move based on the control of opioids that, first it was the prescription pain, and then it was the heroin, then it was fentanyl, then carfentanil, and now it's meth.
The lack of national leadership on the issue now bringing people together from different parts of the country.
More families are looking for ways to teach kids to care about their environment. Experts showing us how in tonight's Family 411. They say learning respect and wonder of nature will help children through the rest of their lives. These children are learning how to protect what they love. From creativity to critical thinking, teachers say families can lay the groundwork for their kids to impact what's ahead for all of us.
There are future scientists. There are, field researchers. They're having careers that are making a difference in the natural world.
Getting away from the screens and experiencing the environment makes kids happier, smarter, and can even cut down on negative behavior like bullying, experts say.
Happening tomorrow, Congressman Mike Turner is going to be joining the Greater Dayton Regional Transit Authority in Dayton. They're expected to discuss a $2.3 million federal grant that the RTA just received from the Department of Transportation. We're going to be at that meeting, and we'll let you know what we find out about the projects that money is going to pay for.
Well, hey, James Ryder, how you doing?
Just looking at all this rain.
Just looking at all the rain. Soaking it in if I could.
Literally trying to. I mean, not much baseball necessarily happening because of all of it, but we are talking Dragons. They're getting ready to start the season. Wright State, they're able to get their game in down in Cincinnati. Shortened up a little bit because of the lightning that we got rolling in. So we got plenty coming up in the fourth quarter, but kind of dampen the mood a little bit with all that rain.
Very good, all the puns. Well, Mother Nature about to give us a break, and thank goodness, but the problem is now all that water has to go somewhere. It's going into the rivers, the Great Miami River, the Little Miami, the Mad River, all out of their banks, so river flooding will be a problem as we head to the next day or so.
Really expected a pun from you, a little disappointed.
Well, you know what, I'm just not that quick.
He's not so punny.
He's had a long
We're
day.
wiped. We're handing it over to James.
Good night.
Here on Fox 45, welcome in. I'm James Ryder. The Reds having no luck with weather so far this season. Opening day already pushed back, and now today, game postponed after more than an hour delay. The Reds and Cubs will now play a split doubleheader Saturday, May 19th at 1:10 and 7:10 p.m. Indians still out on the West Coast to start the season. Tribe striking early. Jose Ramirez hits a 2-run homer in the top of the first. But the Angels get it right back in the bottom half with a pair of home runs. Angels up 6-2, still bottom one. The Dragons are in town getting ready for the start of the season later this week, and the team was supposed to hold its first outdoor practice at Fifth Third Field today, but the weather forced the team inside to the batting cages. Dragons will get one more day of practice tomorrow before they finally get to start the season and look to make another run to the postseason.
Spring training is nice. It's a grind. It's tough. They're going almost 30 days every day, but wouldn't ask for anything different. You know, excited to be here in Dayton for sure. Was here for one game in the playoffs last year. Didn't get to play, but you know, it was a great atmosphere that I got a taste of last year a little bit, and I'm looking forward to playing a full season here.
Last year they had a pretty good season. You know, we're trying to come back and do the same, and you know, do even better. You know, trying to win a ring. We have a lot of talent on the team, and you know, we're looking forward.
Now, before the team had its practice indoors, the Dragons players Narciso Crook and Miles Gordon joined Heater at Frisch's for the kickoff to the Kids Club Luncheon. They signed autographs and took pictures for kids and fans of all ages.
It's nothing like it because, you know, you're a kid, you know, you want to be in this situation, be in this spot, and then, you know, just to give them a chance to interact and stuff, and it's always fun.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It makes you feel pretty good inside for sure, and you feel good doing it for them as well. You know, they look up to you clearly, and they're trying to be a good role model to these guys on and off the field. You know what I'm saying? It's not only on the field they're looking at what you do, but they come in here and see you, and just give them an autograph and make them smile always feels good.
Dragons baseball since the very beginning has always been focused on kids and families, and this event gives kids a chance to have some interaction with the players, something any kid would always enjoy. It's a great deal. For $15, you get 2 tickets to a Dragons game. You get a hat, a t-shirt, a meal at Frisch's, and some other exclusive opportunities as well. So it's something to consider if you've got children who might enjoy some time with the Dragons.
Now here's a look at what's coming up for the Dragons over the next week. They're going to open on the road playing the Bowling Green Hot Rods Thursday and Friday. Then on Saturday, the series shifts to Dayton. Dragons opening night is Saturday at 7. Then on Monday, the Reds announced that would be Hunter Greene's first start. The 18-year-old was drafted 2nd overall last year and was regarded as the top amateur prospect in the nation with a fastball that reaches 102 miles per hour. Wright State's bats were booming this weekend. Coming up, it didn't stop today. See some of the big hits that propelled the Raiders to another win. You're watching the fourth quarter on Fox 45. Fourth quarter here on Fox 45. I'm James Ryder. Wright State's bats have been red hot. Over the weekend, the Raiders scored 37 runs in 3 games, scoring 11 or more in each contest. Wright State looking to keep that momentum rolling through some cold and rainy weather as the team hits the road playing Cincinnati. Now, it did start off nice and sunny. It was a nice game day as it got pushed up to the afternoon to try to avoid the weather. No score in the top of the second. Gabe Snyder uncorks one to right center. Absolutely crushes a solo home run to put Wright State on top. He's been red hot of late. That's Snyder's 5th long ball in the last 8 games. And hitting, well, it can be contagious. Zane Harris, next man up. He blasts a solo shot into the construction area by the basketball arena. He's now got homers in back-to-back games. Wright State's up 2-0. In the 5th, Peyton Burdick hit a 2-run homer. Later, Shawnee grad Seth Gray sends a hard hit ball up the middle, and he's able to turn the hustle into an RBI single after that wild bounce. Wright State goes up 5-0. It was 5-1. Then the game hit a 2-hour lightning delay before resuming in the 7th, only to have the game called after 7 innings. Raiders win at 5-1. Now, Wright State with some momentum going into a big weekend. Wright State picked to finish first in the Horizon League, UIC second. These two have combined to win the last 4 regular season championships and 3 straight conference tournament titles. Now the 3-game series starts Friday at 6 p.m. Raiders currently tied for first, UIC 2 games back, tied for third. Well, 2016 Stivers grad Isaiah Williams is transferring from Liberty to play basketball elsewhere. He averaged 4 points and 2 rebounds per game as a redshirt freshman. He spent his first season at Akron, where he redshirted. Now he started 10 games at Liberty, playing in 30 of the team's 30.